It's been a game of footy and then a hamstring injury.
Another game of footy and a hamstring injury.
More games of footy and you guessed it, more hamstring injuries.
Let's grapple.
Well, Jolie.
Hello, mate.
Can you believe it? I just messed up the intro music then, but that's okay. We're sort of operating in a different environment at the moment. That's all right.
We're in our temporary studio here, the new sheds.
Big thanks to Dan at Harness Creation.
Indeed.
For having us at the
big
moment.
Shout out to Dan for, I don't know if he knows we're here, but thanks for having us, Dan.
We are here.
We sure are.
Yeah.
And you know what? You've taken on a technical role.
Did you like that?
You know that I'm stinging to use our technical paddle here.
Like what? Like, you know, if you say that I'm a good technical operator.
Hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He does his best. Don't make Johnny sad.
This is going to be the entire chat is going to be this, isn't it?
What's this podcast about again? So much. Now, look.
This is right here, the Grapple podcast. This is us. My name's Johnny Manning. Right there is Joel Spreadborough, as per usual.
Yeah. Yeah, slightly different digs, but we're back on camera, so...
Which is good.
Lens cap off.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Ready to shoot. You're wearing a Queensland Origin jersey. Good to see. We will be talking Origin a bit later on in the podcast.
Yeah, what do you got?
I've got a Dolphins hat on.
I noticed.
Okay, you know why?
Yeah.
Because, as you know, I'm a Cowboys man. But it's okay. I'm not going to say I'm a lover of all teams. The Dolphins smashed the Cowboys. Not smashed. Well, they did. They beat them. Then the Cowboys got beaten by the Titans. So I've had to go and wear a Dolphins hat.
Yeah.
And because, you know, I just didn't know which way to turn, I've swapped codes with my jersey.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So, see this?
Yeah.
This is County Cavan.
Okay.
GAA, Gaelic Athletic Association. This is a Cavan Gaelic football jersey.
Have you ever had a game of Gaelic?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I was about 16, they had a carnival in Mackay. Of course, I've got a story. And all of us kids, we were at a rugby league school at St. Patrick's Mackay, shout out. And we went and entered in this Gaelic football carnival.
Yeah.
And we were playing against men. And we didn't really know what the story was. And someone said, you can't tackle, you can only shoulder charge, like bump, you know, like shirt front. And anyway, we're running, we're going okay. We're young and fit, pretty good with the ball in hand, booting it around. And I've gone to sort of bump this guy who, you know, I don't know, he was like an old accountant or something, you know, out of Mackay, maybe a lawyer.
Okay.
And
the Cameron Smith of Mackay.
Well, no, this guy was an actual lawyer. You know,
Okay,
he was like
real life.
47 years old,
Yeah.
massive gut on him, running around, you know, with those short steps that old, unfit people get. And I've gone to just shoulder charge him like that, and he's moved and I've mistimed it. So as I've gone, my elbows come up. And I didn't elbow him in the head, but it looked like I did.
Oh, no.
It looked like it. And he came after me swinging. You know, they get those red faces. Ah, fucking, ah.
Yeah, right.
And everyone came in, and I was 16. I was like, oh, my God, this guy's going to bash me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Did he bash you?
No.
Where did the elbow... You didn't get him in the throat?
I don't think so. I don't know exactly where I got him.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think it was that bad.
John Manning, Gaelic football, games won, red cards won.
I think they called the game off. It was
Did
like
they?
It was like this Irish festival, and they said, no, this game's done.
No more elbow. Imagine if someone took that to the NRL today.
I know.
So a radical idea for you guys. Graham, Pete, gather round. We want to get rid of tackles.
And just
it's like,
elbows.
what, make it touch? No.
Just elbows.
Elbows.
The only way to affect a play the ball is to elbow someone in the head.
You've got to elbow them. You know what would happen, though? We'd have even more injuries. And at the moment, I don't know if we can take too many more.
Oh, we need to look at this situation. Let's look at the casualty ward as it stands, Jolie.
Yep. Okay.
So just from the weekend.
So round 10, one and done. So let's say it now. We're just shy of the halfway mark, give or take a few weeks.
A couple of rounds. It's like, but there's like 27 rounds, right?
Just give or take a couple of weeks. So 3.5 weeks
Sure.
off.
Okay.
You know.
Cleary, gone as of today, gone for Origin. 8
Gone
weeks.
for Origin, yep.
Turbo, 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I'm not sure when he's back. Let's have a look at when he's back. I don't know. I'm trying to look at this thing on the NRL website. Where's New Zealand? Why is New Zealand... Where is New Zealand? Is it all...
South of Tasmania.
Yeah, I know, but it's why isn't it between Newcastle and North Queensland? On, you know, if we're talking alphabetically. Billy Walters did his rest. Jock Madden's got a pec injury. Arthur's jaw. Renault's biceps, he's gone. Okay, let's go. Tuivasa-Sheck to be confirmed. Who else? Capewell's out for another couple of weeks. Tavanga's out. Hamstring, Tavanga. Sean Johnson did his pec off what possibly could have been considered a chicken wing.
Yes. Yeah, very, very close.
But as we know, chicken wings don't exist anymore. So it can't be penalised.
Can't penalise something that's not in the rule book.
It's like a grapple tackle. That doesn't exist anymore, only here on this
Only
very
in podcast form.
So RTS gone. Who else we got? We've got Brimson, groin. Sami, hamstring, round 1 now. Point of his shoulder. Textbook AC joint injury. Who else we got, Jolly?
Let's go through the Broncos. So Jesse Arthurs, Adam Reynolds, Billy Walters did his wrist, hurt his wrist the other night.
Yeah.
Jock Madden as well. The next Tom Brady, he's out until at least round 11, another couple of weeks. Early prog on Renault is round 22 at best. Let's go north, as we already know. Cohen Hess, Tommy Chester, Jermaine Tanua-Brown, Zach Labert, Murray Taulagi. That's look, I know that the Cowboys are up to shit, but that's a bit of talent on the sideline. The Dolphins, of course. And the reason I said halfway through the season, I guess the more the barometer is the eve of Origin. We're not too far away from the teams.
Well, we're going to get to talk about Origin shortly, and this plays into that.
It really does. So Hammer, Flegg.
Next week, Hammer.
Tommy Gilbert gone for the season, of course. Tessie New. He should be round 12. But again, that's a very decent chunk of talent. The Eels, the much maligned Eels, add Gutherson to Moses, Bryce Cartwright. It's a tough. When you're playing the way they are, having the year they are, they're not the players you don't want to be taking onto the field.
Unreal.
Cleary joins Sorensen, Schneider, Targo. It is actually ridiculous.
South Sydney. This is Munro, Kenner, Jacob Gagai next week. Alex Johnson returning from a hamstring. Host is suspended. Cameron Murray's gone, possibly for Origin. Jai Gray, Campbell Graham. They're saying he's back in round 18. Totola.
Oh, that's only 7 weeks away.
Yeah. Dean Hawkins from that quad injury.
Yeah.
Round 21.
Round 21.
From kicking off. Lachlan Ilias is
operating under unreasonable duress, unreasonable fatigue.
Lachlan Ilias is going to have to go to that mob that turned Officer Murphy into RoboCop.
Yeah.
To get back on the field
he's
after
not
that
far
leg break.
away.
Poor bugger.
Oh, Emperor Palpatine could help him out. He did it for Vader, of course.
He
Anakin, he got his legs and arms cut off.
Strike him down.
Yes, and he became more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Than you could possibly imagine.
Corey Horsburgh, Hosking, Fogarty, Rapana, Harawira Nira. Like, again, the Raiders, this is not the talent they need to be sidelined.
Bateman, Peck, Stafford Toa, hamstring. Fainu, hamstring. What in God's green earth is going on? The pecs and the hamstrings. Smith Shields, whichever way that goes. Peck. I mean, come on.
Brandon Smith, calf. Okay. TBC. Billy Smith, ankle indefinite. Here's a big one.
Yeah.
Tom
Trbojevic. Turbo.
That is a valuable hammy.
Oh, it's a hammy that's
valuable, but maybe a bit run down.
It's a hammy that held the line at Bastogne in Belgium in World War II with easy company.
It was on the beach at Dunkirk.
It was.
That hammy.
It retreated in a fishing boat across the British Channel.
You know the first scene in Saving Private Ryan?
That's Turbo's hamstring.
He was the one that said, "I'll see you on the beach," and it saw them on the beach. Jason Saab, though, not a hammy, but a shoulder. All of these injuries, and we have been saying this, and we'll continue to say it. It's a contact sport. It's fast. It's furious. It's paid by big, aggressive athletes.
Too fast, Jolie.
Yeah, injuries are going to happen, but this has not slowed down. This injury ward expands week on week,
and it expands with the best players in the game. All right, we're talking. If you look at Cleary, Johnson, Tuivasa-Sheck, Turbo, They're in the upper echelon of players in the game.
Why don't we throw our reigning Dally M medalist Nico Hines onto
Nico
that
Hines
pile as
didn't
well?
play on the weekend.
Xavier Coates is probably a shoo-in for Queensland if he gets back, which he should, but still he's got a hammy.
It's absolutely bloody ridiculous.
Yep.
The game is too fast. I heard a commentator who I respect talking yesterday now, why are we seeing all these hamstrings? Are they overtraining too hard? Their game is too fast.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are huge now.
Yeah.
They're massive, massive humans. And the game is too fast. Here we go. JM's freaking fix
Yeah,
for the NRL. Get rid of 6 again. Get rid of 7 tackle sets.
Please get rid of 6 again.
Change the play the ball rule if you kick a drop goal out. Change the play the ball rule if you kick a 40-20. Change the play the ball rule for anything that goes out, right? Take it back to what it was.
Yeah.
Fix the obstruction rule. It freaking sucks. It sucks so bad.
It's so bad. It is beyond confusing. Players have been confused. Fans have never got it. Referees, for a long time now, have second-guessed and doubted. They've made calls they shouldn't have. They are absolutely all over the shop with it.
And I'm blaming referees for some things, but not everything, because the NRL is to blame primarily for this. I'm also blaming players, and I'll get to this. What I'm going to blame referees for is this. A ball, a try is scored. A try is attempted scored. It's not a try, right? We know it's not a try. The ref goes, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this up at no try just to see what's going on. That's the same as using the video ref in the field of play. You know it's not a try. Everyone in the stadium knows it's not a try. Yet you're using that technology to find out what happened. Why don't you use that in the middle of the field then? They're saying, oh, no, you can only use it in a try-scoring situation. Everyone knows he dropped the ball from head height. It can't be a try. And then you say, oh, I need to see if there's a hand in there. I'm sending it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That is bullshit. That's the referees using it as a crutch. All right, if you're going to use it, use it. The other thing I'm going to blame the referees for, and I'm going to co-blame the players and co-blame the coaches. When we're talking this obstruction rule, they are being trained to dive.
Yeah.
That is an absolute
Oh, no
fact.
doubt about it. The one against the Broncos Parramatta, the one that got called when Para had a bit of a sniff of getting themselves back into that game was exactly that. And I've said this before right here, in our other studio, of course they are going to exploit the rules. Of course they're going to push the boundaries.
But how do the referees not feel silly? I would feel silly. I would feel like an idiot. I'd feel like I'm being taken for a ride by a player.
Yeah.
What they should just go, you know what, he milked that. And this whole inside shoulder, outside shoulder, it's not a black and white rule. And it shouldn't, well, it is at the moment, it shouldn't be. I'm pretty sick of this. Well, his job is to either stop short of the line or continue through the line. The line moves.
And also it doesn't take into account what fucking direction they're going in. If you're backpedaling, like how are you going to not change direction, and get enough speed up to make the tackle that you're being accused of having intent to make when you're 5 meters away?
If someone makes a poor read, they're getting coached to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Poor reads are being rewarded.
Yep.
Okay, so there's that. What else? The stripping of the ball rule just stinks to high heaven. I'm so sick of that as well. What else? While we're at
But the training on the stripping is a fine science as well. That's come down to like they're ninjas.
I'm
on the
so
ball
okay
strip.
with if you can't hang on to the ball.
Yeah, you get it. I don't disagree.
Hang
at
on to
all.
the ball. Just do that.
But that's what I mean. All of these rules, the way they're coaching to take advantage of these rules.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
And the kicks, everything, your favourite, the kick disruptor, all of it, you see them like absolute... it's like a dance routine, the way they're getting into position for this
So
stuff.
this whole thing about contesting kicks is ridiculous. And I saw someone tweet, if you're wondering why Harry Grant got sent to the bin for grazing, who was it? Sullivan.
Yeah.
Was it Sullivan? The six?
I think it was Sullivan.
For Cronulla, the young fella, Atkinson. Yeah, good young six.
Oh, it wasn't. Yeah,
Atkinson.
Sorry, dead right.
Grazing him, here's a photo of Lachlan Ilias breaking his leg in reserve grade. And I'm like, you're using that as a reason to apply a ridiculous rule and change a match maybe because of someone brushed the kicker's legs. You can't approach a kicker, all right? It's now the NFL rule where you can't rough the quarterback.
Yep.
All right, that's now the rule. It's roughing the passer. All right, then you can't contest a kick because you're going to be a disruptor. Of course you're trying to disrupt the person catching the ball. Of course. Why did we need that rule? Where did that come from? Which idiot thought that up? Okay.
Because they have a bit of an identity crisis.
The game is having a god-awful crisis of identity, mate.
Yeah.
It doesn't know
They
what
don't
it
know
wants
who
to
they
be.
are. Yeah.
No. And, you know, I can't remember what I said last week. I may have said this last week. Follow Dana White's lead. You know what Dana White says about UFC? Hey, guess what? We're not for everyone.
Yep.
We're a pretty brutal sport.
But we
are who we are. And you know what? It's the fastest growing sport in the world.
And the people that love us are absolutely
They're
obsessed.
They're brand
with us.
adorers, exactly.
And I'm going to give international rugby a shout out here because the international game gets a lot of criticism for its standards.
Yeah.
And sometimes its officiating can be extremely tedious. But they're like, you know what? This is the game.
This is rugby.
This is rugby.
These are the rules
This
of
is
our
how
game.
it's played.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I remember going to a test the other year, Wallabies England at Suncorp at Lang Park, and it was one of the most dour 80 minutes of my life. At the end of it, the team that won, you know what? They fucking earned that victory.
Yeah.
And the fans cheered just as hard.
Because they scrum their fucking asses off.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the game.
You know, that's the game.
Jaden Campbell, Boyd, AJ Brimson, Kieran Foran,
Brimo.
Sami.
So Brimo, Foran, and Smith Shields and Sami all went off in that game.
Yep.
Right? The Titans ground out that win. Like,
Oh, didn't they?
that was, and at the end of it, I'm like, I blue and grey. I bleed blue and grey for the Cowboys,
you do.
right?
You do.
But I'm like, I kind of hope Gold Coast get this one because they deserve it. They ground out that win.
They did it against the Warriors on Anzac Day. The staunchness of that defensive line, and this is what makes me sad because a performance like that to lose that many troops just when this Des effect is really kicking in. It's a little bit scary. It really is. It's a little bit scary, but
It is very scary.
Credit to the Titans because we early on in this show, can you believe it? We've been going for 14 episodes now. I think in episode 1 we said the duck egg is right on the table.
Yeah, but they've only got 2 wins.
Yeah,
Let's not
still though,
I know.
you know.
But good. I'm glad they have. They're
the
good.
duck egg is 0 though.
It is. Yeah, you're right. But we said it was a possibility. And you know what? We were right. It was a
possibility. It could have happened.
It was an absolute possibility. They're not going to win 16, 17 games.
Well, not now. Not
No.
with all the bloody teams sidelined.
And it looks like they might have to get some kid out of Palm Beach, Currumbin.
What's
or
Desi going to
Canberra
do?
Park.
Do you hear Desi's, might have to get Michael Monaghan and throw
Throw the 7 on him.
come out of retirement. And I think, or someone should have said, what about you, Des? Talk about a quality half.
Fittest man in the league when he was playing.
Problem
Des.
solved.
The stories of him are legendary.
I'd love to see him at the back marshalling.
They reckon he didn't lift a weight. He was just all body weight.
Oh, yeah?
He was just chin-ups, push-ups.
So ahead of his time.
All that kind of stuff. Just and you know, you talk about sinew.
He would have been that wiry,
Yes.
yeah.
Like, you know,
impossible to tackle.
running along the beach, DY there, flowing locks of
The
blonde
locks,
hair.
the blonde hair, we all envy it.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning, everyone. Just training for my comeback.
But the Cowboys, they came back and scored 3 late tries, but
Yeah.
then they just couldn't get it done. Oh, I know that was different. I thought that was. It says rim shot. I thought that
Sure.
meant like a shot that rimmed out.
For the drummers in the room, it's a rim shot, yeah. Not for the NBA fans. I'm sitting going, rim shot. Yeah,
Rim shot. I think it's a rimmed out shot. Anyway, look, the other thing I'm going to go on about is in that Dolphins Manly game, Bromwich is penalised for a high shot on someone for a slap in the face, which is diabolical. And here it is. Who was it? It was one of the Dolphins players. I can't think which one because I mean at the moment they're that thin on numbers. It'll be like the Titans. Who the hell's that guy? We don't know.
Yeah.
Runs it out. He is tackled as Josh Aloye comes at him. He's tackled from behind. Josh Aloye goes down with him. Right, lowers his target zone. This fella's head hits Aloye's knee as they go down.
Yep.
He got penalised for that.
Penalised. That's a penalty.
Just 'cause there's a bit of
every
blood.
day of the week.
That's a paddling.
It's a peddling. You better believe that's a peddling.
You headbutt someone's knee. That's a paddling.
That's a peddling.
Like, come on, man. Like, what in
But
God's...
this is okay, and this is a point I'm gonna make again, is that the more of these rulings that happen, the more uncertain players are going to be, the more they're going to second guess their actions, the more they're going to hesitate, undercommit, and then what is that going to result in? More injuries.
Look, I want to know what charge has been levelled at the fucking cameraman who did Turbo's hammy. Turbo collided with the cameraman. He was nearly trying to effect a tackle. Some dodgy-ass cameraman staying there trying to, get a shot of Turbo unsuspectingly.
What he's trying to do.
Turbo doesn't even know he's being filmed at this point. He does.
He's trying to get rugby league from every angle. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. That's actually what he's trying to do. The other thing I noticed was a certain free-to-air broadcaster running the time in play clock, which I hadn't noticed. I haven't watched a lot of games on this particular broadcaster.
What do you mean time in play?
Time since a stoppage.
Oh, for real?
Time since the game has actually stopped for 5 seconds.
Because they're stooges. They're NRL. The free-to-air broadcaster is a stooge for Channel 9.
Wow.
All they do is spruik the NRL's narratives. And your man who does it the most is the former Blues Origin coach. He sits there and just spruiks their narrative.
Doesn't he?
And it is sickening. He doesn't have an opinion of his own.
He's got splinters this year. He really does.
Does not have an opinion that he actually owns.
I've only seen him talking on various panels and podcasts.
They're running a time and play clock.
Yeah.
Look at this. We haven't had a scrum or anything for 6 minutes. Who gives a flying fuck? You got guys going down with hamstrings, groins, pecs, you name it, HIAs. And you're there spruiking. Look how fast our game is.
Yep.
They have no regard for the player. All they have regard for is a class action lawsuit coming at them because of HIAs. That is the only thing they have regard for. If they turn around and say player safety is paramount, they are lying. Mm-hmm. It's a lie. It is a bold-faced lie. Erroneous. On both counts.
Highly erroneous.
Highly erroneous. And it bothers me because they are spruiking. We've showed you the text messages with those stats. Oh, look, 6 more play the balls per game. Look how fast our game is. Time in play. Look at our injury list. Look at these guys losing their living.
Yep.
You bastards.
Those numbers don't add up.
You absolute pricks.
Yep.
Anyway.
And stop pretending that you give a shit. So you mentioned Capewell. You mentioned Tuivasa-Sheck. Sean Johnson. Little old Sean Johnson, one of the biggest draw cards in the game. Tell me, if you go to a Waz home game and they've got a decent crowd over there, less than 70% of the people there going to watch him play?
I think he's a big, him and RTS.
75, 80?
Him and RTS are the draw cards,
That's
right?
who they go to watch.
Watney Zelezniak, they're the draw cards.
Yep. Future uncertain is the headline going around. And let's talk about his season future. If you've torn a pec.
If his pec's gone, that's, 12 weeks at least.
Do you tell you what we've been happy with this year?
What's that?
Because we've been talking about Benji Marshall and the job that he's had, but fuck, he's been lucky to have Aiden Caesar on his books. Aiden Caesar bringing that seniority, a touch of class, making some good decisions. He's out as well.
Oh, God.
He's out.
I don't know where to stop. Anyway.
Admittedly, suspension, but still, he's out. He's not playing. Johnny Bateman, as you say, pectoral as well.
Johnny Bateman and Peck. My God.
Yeah.
This is outrageous.
It's out of control. It's actually out of control. Now, let's go back to the Tommy Turbo incident just quickly. So, aside from the cameraman that may or may not have a phone call to answer, the guy he was chasing and the guy he did a little bit of chasing that evening was, of course, Trey Fuller, who's come onto the scene and strung a couple of pretty good games together. I'd say, look, the Knights game, they were all pretty ordinary, but other than that, Trey Fuller has been okay. And he pulled off the try. If you watched it, if you know anything or see anything to do with footy, you would have seen a replay of it. It had shades of Billy Slater's chip and chase. It was a good try. It was a quality try.
And he's done some quality things.
Eyes up. Real eyes up, fast, instinctive. Is he an NRL fullback?
I've got a controversial take on this.
I'd love to hear it. This is where controversial takes happen. Hang on, before you do it.
What are you going to press?
That's Johnny's controversial opinion, brought to you by the Harp.
Really?
Well, no, okay, well, here, how about this one?
I don't think there was a... Yeah, I guess that works for controversy. I don't think he's an NRL fullback.
You don't think he's an NRL fullback? Why not?
I can't quantify the reasons why.
Yep.
Right? I think he's I think he's a wonderful kid. He's bided his time in the Q Cup. He's a massive effort player. He's done some dazzling things. Right now, let's say all 17 teams are fully fit, right? Mm-hmm. Which fullback is he going to replace?
Just
all 17 teams.
Same question to Tristan Saylor, actually.
Yeah. So
who's more of an NRL fullback between those two?
It's a good question.
If you have that money at the moment, you need a
Tristan.
fullback. You're going to sign Saylor.
I take Tristan. Okay, so let's go through. Try and go through alphabetically. Brisbane, Walsh, no. Who else we got? Let's go. Okay. So Brisbane.
Here we go. We'll
Canberra Raiders. Is he going to be? I think is he going to replace Jordan Rapana? No.
No, he's not.
Who's the fullback at Canterbury? Blake Taft.
Not going to happen. Might happen.
Close-ish. Cronulla? No.
Closer.
Kennedy? No way at Cronulla. No. Dolphins? Hammer? Clearly not.
Manly?
Exact. Gold Coast? No, because you've got AJ or Jaden Campbell. Manly? Turbo. Storm, Pappenhausen. Knights, Pong. Cowboys, Drinkwater. Parramatta, Gutho.
Yep.
Penrith, Dylan Edwards. South Sydney, Latrell. St George, Sloan.
So, good luck.
Yep. Sydney Roosters, Tedesco. Warriors, RTS or freaking Chans. West Tigers, Dream Buller.
Buller?
No.
I like Buller. He's great.
Buller's better. Buller's better than him.
Of all the lists you've said so far,
it's Buller and Blake Taft.
Yeah, that's probably
They're the two maybes. So that's why I'm sitting here thinking, I don't think he is.
What happens when Hammer comes back?
Hammer goes straight to fullback.
He goes straight to fullback, and thanks for your service this last month.
He's playing Queensland Cup.
You're back into Queensland Cup?
100%.
Yep. There's nowhere else you're going to put him, is there?
Well, you got Avarillo and Farnworth in the centres.
And Avarillo said it.
I love Avarillo.
He's finding some touches.
He's a good player.
Jeez, he's got a swerve.
He's a real footballer, you know?
Yep. Okay, no, I agree. I think he has been brilliant, and I love what he's all heart, and he speaks like a humble dude. He's worked hard.
I'm all heart, motherfucker.
I'm all heart, motherfucker. He's worked hard, and it's paying off. But
look, fair play to him. If he can get a go, great. I just think playing fullback in the NRL is one tough ass gig, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling Latrell he's not a fullback. He is.
Yeah.
He's just a bit lazy and a bit overweight at the moment, but he's a fullback.
Yeah.
But tough gig, man. Val Holmes wanted to be a fullback. Drinkwater's a better fullback.
Val Holmes. Glad you brought up Val.
Well, there was a spear tackle that was missed against him yesterday, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Is he in the Queensland team?
Well,
in your Queensland team. Chairman of Selectors, John Manning.
Let's hold that until we get to our we'll get to our origin teams.
You got a big surprise.
I don't have any surprises.
Have I gone rogue on the rundown here?
No.
Hey, stick to the book.
No, I want to discuss it at length, but I want to do it in the context of the origin team. Is that
fair
okay?
enough? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is. So Warriors and Cows have gone down 5 straight.
Man,
should we start with your guys?
Yeah, everyone's talking about South Sydney, right? Oh, what the fuck's wrong with South? The two teams that everyone should be talking about are the Cowboys and the Wars.
Yeah.
These guys have lost 5 straight. I think both of them have.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
And both teams, I mean, Cowboys didn't make the playoffs last year, but 2022 prelim final.
Yep.
The Wars were everyone's pick to be the team that, could have rolled Penrith this year.
I'm pretty sure you're right, but I also did think that Sullivan played 5'8" for the Sharks on the weekend, so I could be wrong.
Where's Dane Laurie?
A rare slip up.
Dane Laurie. Why is it Dane Laurie in this Tigers outfit?
It's him and a 1-2 punch with him and Kerrod Walters for the Adelaide Rams. That's what's happening.
He's playing for the Hunter Mariners.
Yeah,
okay, so the Cowboys.
What's gone wrong?
That's a hell of a question.
Because that display.
Okay.
I don't want to use mean words. I'd love the Cowboys.
No,
they
stunk.
Yeah, it was
they genuinely stunk. And you know what was really, really good? Their first set of the game.
Yeah.
Griffin Neem's carry off the kickoff was unreal.
It's good to see a nice carry like that off a kickoff, isn't it?
Well, we won't see it.
Enjoy it while
longer.
You can.
Exactly.
Enjoy it while you can.
But
folks.
I thought they were pinged with a lot of penalties early.
Yep.
Right? But look, 3 tries each. Penalty goal to Brian Kelly was the kicker, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But look at the Cowboys tries: 60th minute, 74th minute, 70th minute. They do lack resilience, right? But here's the thing. They lack resilience and they are disconnected. And they're about as disconnected as any team in the NRL at the moment. What do I mean by that? It means like they're playing. It means that they're playing fragmented football.
Yep.
There's people that are moving in the one direction, but they're not doing it at speed, and they're not doing it at the same speed. There was one particular set towards sort of middle of the second half where they were basically going to shift, and they were walking the ball up. It wasn't much faster than a walk. So that's an intensity issue. But the fragmentation is, you look at Tommy Dearden, he's trying his ass off, but he's coming up with snake eyes every time. I think he's overplaying his hand on that overs line he runs on the left-hand side. It's been really good for him because he sort of darts in and does a bit of an overs line, right? You know who else does that on the left side really, really well? Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh is a bit quicker than Tommy, but Reece does it. You know what Staggs does? Just drops inside him.
Yep.
As soon as Reece has engaged this guy and gone to that guy, and this, let's call him the ex-defender or the three-man, as soon as he's gone with Reece, Staggs is cutting inside.
Yep.
Val Holmes is going with him. Val's going with him towards the sideline.
And they're just running out of room.
And Val is a powerful runner.
Yeah.
So
give him that inside line, catch someone off foot.
Give Dearden the inside line, and maybe someone falls off Dearden, or maybe they both melt onto Dearden, and Val is through. And when they do it, it's awesome to see.
Yep.
But it's just not done enough.
Why aren't they doing it?
And I don't know, but I feel like their shifts are pedestrian at the moment. I feel like Chad Townsend is trying really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti-Chad, but I've never been hugely pro-Chad.
Is he your top 5, 6, 7 starting sevens
in the comp?
In the comp, where we went through fullbacks.
No.
Does he play 7 at many other clubs?
Not at Manly, not at the Dolphins, not at Penrith, not at the Bulldogs, not at Parramatta, not at the Broncos.
So you wouldn't shift Katoa to get him in at the Dolphins?
No, he's got to be a 7.
Yep.
Knights, he gets a run. Dragons, probably not because of Ben Hunt. Rabbitohs, he gets a run.
Gets a run there,
I could play 7 at the Rabbitohs now. Storm, he doesn't. Sharks, he doesn't. Warriors, he doesn't. Roosters, he doesn't. Titans, he might. The Titans.
Well, Titans, yeah.
But not now. But I mean, Titans fully fit, yeah.
He can run alongside Des.
But maybe Foz is at 6. But their best 6 and 7 is Foz and Brimo.
Yep.
Has to be.
Yep. Brimo, when he's out there, he's great.
So in my opinion, there's something going on at the Cowboys. It's deeper than the result. Your resilience and your connectivity and your intensity, they're all results. You don't go away and work on resilience. You work on things that provide you resilience. And I don't know what's wrong there, but something's wrong. Something's wrong.
14 errors.
I mean, it's not the errors. I think the missed tackles is a huge problem. I think they're not. Their first up contact isn't great in defence. I feel like
I agree, but those against the Titans, they were all pretty close. There wasn't a huge discrepancy in those
stats,
particular areas. They weren't like completions were up to shit.
So is it situational?
Returns
is it missed tackle? Is it? I mean, a missed tackle on the opposition 20 versus on your own line is still called a missed tackle.
Yeah.
So we could be talking situational.
And like you said, intensity too. Like those sets where it seems like it's just a set-up set or whatever, a breather set, they really, really look like that. We just need to get here to get a kick in to do this. There's no sort of keep your eyes up, keep your arms up. There might be something on here. Let's push. It doesn't feel like that.
I'm going to give another controversial opinion. This is working well.
I like it very much.
I don't think their roster is as great as everyone says. Ooh, what's that for?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just had to press the first button I could reach because of my shock at what you just said.
Everyone says their roster's amazing. It's good. It's not amazing.
Yep.
I mean,
where are the biggest holes?
The middle.
Yep.
They got Ruben carrying this load in the middle. No,
is this still a big JT thing?
It might be, yeah. But I mean, he came on and played pretty well.
Yep.
But he can't play the minutes he used to play. Griffin Neam's going to be a great long-term front rower.
Yep.
Jordan McLean is getting a little bit old in the tooth.
They're both struggling when they're in the middle. When they're in the middle together.
So when Hulkie and McLean are in the middle, if I'm an opposition team, I'm attacking them.
I'm straight there.
Flooding the middle.
Yep.
And I think that's what's happening. They're getting flooded through the middle, and then if someone pokes their head through, quick play the ball, they're getting skinned on the edges.
Yeah.
Val, Val.
He's a bloody great player.
When he wants to be.
Yeah.
All right, so the Wars, though, the Wars are in a bit of a similar story. I think they're just leaking points like no man's business.
Yep.
Now, they came back a little bit in that second half. It's funny. With this 6 again rule, with this 7 tackle set rule, 7 tackle set, you can be attacking the opposition's line, and they want us to score from kicks, don't they? They want us, because of this fucking ridiculous rule of cynical disruptors, they want us to kick more clearly.
Yeah.
Right?
It makes for the best promos.
Right. But then you miss scoring a try by a fingernail, and you're punished with a tap at the 20 and a fucking 7 tackles. That is ridiculous.
Back to the casualty ward once
It's
again.
it's a fucking horrible, vicious cycle that is going on.
Yep.
So the Wars were really unlucky in a couple of occasions, but they also stunk.
But do they have the resilience when they're that unlucky? Because that's what they showed last year, was when that sort of shit. Because they've always been a team like that, and we've heard it in the past. We've heard them say, "Fuck you, give us fair treatment."
Yeah.
It was a story last year. Of course it was. They fought back from it last year.
If you get nailed with 6 again after 6 again after 6 again,
Yeah.
The stat was, so the Roosters were up 22-0 after like 15 minutes, and they go, the Roosters are 10 from 10 with their completions, right? Warriors were 1 from 3. That had the ball 3 times. So that's a 70. That's more than 70% to 30% possession. If you are just tackling like that the whole time, you can't recover.
Mm-hmm.
The other team needs to absolutely have their wheels fall off for you to recover.
Yep.
If you are getting 6 again after 6 again, then penalty, then 6 again, then penalty, all you're doing is defending. You can't recover. You can't.
Yep.
Can't do it.
And you
Momentum.
can see it. Yep.
Momentum.
How much are they missing Metcalf? I know it's been a while.
Oh, look, a lot, but,
Yep.
you know, he's not the reason. If these 6 agains are from discipline, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Geez, the 6 again.
But the 6 again, okay, so eight top liners out at the moment, 7 of them with leg injuries, various calves, hamstrings, 1 foot. I think they've got 1 foot injury, but hammies, calves dominating that injury list as
man.
well.
I mean, I'm a moron, and I can see the reasoning for it.
Coincidence? I think not.
Oh,
Right? Yep.
was that appropriate?
Meanwhile, the NRL's there going, look how much faster we are, look how much harder we are, and we're all sitting here going, you're kidding us with this.
We got to hear the crickets.
You're kidding us with this, aren't you? Absolute crickets.
Sort of a long one though.
That's enough
That's
now.
right, yeah,
Stop. Yeah, look, no, it's out of control. So Latrell comes back south, mate. They
can't get it done.
can't get it done.
But I mean, I don't. I mean, you know, you want to talk about casualty wards? They've got one of the biggest.
They do. I'm looking at it right now, and for again, quality of troop on sideline, as you said, Graham Murray Johnston.
Did you say Graham Murray?
Graham Murray Johnston. Graham Murray. He's made a comeback. Graham Murray Johnston. Hello, my name's Graham Murray Johnston. I'm your new recruit.
Mr. Murray Johnston. Graham Murray
Thanks,
Johnston.
Graham. Good to meet you, Mr. Murray Johnston. Yes.
Yeah, correct. You know,
Richie Kenner.
yeah, it's
Love Richie.
and the Dragons, as I said, they're going to be the game on, game off. They're on the FIFO,
Yeah, of course they are.
the FIFO roster.
They've got the shortest injury list at the moment.
Yeah,
they
they
can put
do.
it together. Here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Here's your opportunity. I'm so interested when we do get to talk about Origin, because speaking of opportunities,
Well, let's do it.
Jesus,
Or
wow.
should quick talk about expansion, or we go Origin?
Mate, okay, so quick talk about expansion. So
All right.
I love it because everyone puts everything they have into these bids. Of course they do, but then you got the boss coming out and saying, "Look, that sounds like a bloody good partnership." Honing in on one particular bid. So all your other bids, Central Coast and whatnot, they go, "Oh, but that couple of million that we've spent, and oh, sure, no, yeah, great, we'll get behind the Perth
Where
Bears."
does that money go? If you drop all this money into a bid for an expansion team, is it just
Costs. Yeah,
written off? I
just
suppose.
costs. There's so many costs. Everything's a cost. Every coffee during that bid process is a coffee.
I'm going to tell you this though, right?
Go on.
You start talking about this one that he's given the thumbs up
So,
to.
for context, Peter Volandes talking about the Perth Bears. That sounds like a bloody good partnership, says PVL. Now, for those watching the podcast today, you'll see what Johnny's displaying. For those listening on, Johnny's displaying a early 90s North Sydney
early
Bears.
90s.
Yeah,
early
very
90s.
good.
Bring
And
back
Greg
the Bears.
Florimo's old jersey.
Oh, Flo. What a player.
Love Flo.
What a player.
Yeah, I know you're big on the Bears. Do you like the Bears in Perth?
I don't mind him in Perth.
Yep, I like Perth. I do. I like Perth.
I think it's a necessity.
Yep. What about 2 licenses in the next 6 years?
Oh, whatever.
17 teams now.
Sure.
Okay, just quickly though, injury toll we're seeing. Coaches like Desi going, who the fuck am I going to pick this week? What happens when that's 19 teams?
So the talent pool's not big enough. I think 17, we're at a stretch. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Definitely.
And I'm a huge expansionist. I love expansion. I loved it when we had 20 teams.
Yep.
It was only for maybe 1 year that we had 20 teams, and I loved it.
Yep. Was that 98? It was the reunification.
It was the marriage.
Because a couple of those extra teams stayed in for a bit.
It was when Kerry and Rupert kissed and made up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Been best mates ever since. Yep.
But I just think 17's a stretch.
Yep.
At the moment.
So 2 more. One of them, of course, PNG. So this is the next one. Now you can speak to this as well, just even from a Queensland Cup perspective of the Hunters.
Don't do it.
The ins and outs of getting a team to and from PNG. You know, I have so much love for the love of league in PNG. It's awesome.
But why do they want to be in there? I don't understand why they want to be there.
It's just this one for me. It is that fucking political. I think they want to be in it because it's their happy place. It's their national sport.
Yeah.
But this has become a more of a diplomatic mission. And we're seeing it, like the grants that they're giving.
Isn't it like a blocking of China strategy or something like that?
Albo wants to give them $600 million. They're calling it a soft diplomacy package. They're not even hiding the wording.
600 mil's pretty fucking hard, if you ask me.
Why don't you call it, mask it and call it a football, football development programming fund. A professional football development levy.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's called a soft diplomacy package. What the fuck has that got to do
What
with
does it
the
even
NRL?
mean? Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to, Albo? You know what? That sounds like a bloody good partnership. 600 million sounds fantastic.
I think
that's Wayne's salary, by the way.
I think it's a bad idea. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Wayne's going to go coach the PNG team. His brother Bob Bennett has ties to PNG Rugby League. I believe he might have even coached their national team.
Is that right?
I believe so. There is some. Correct me if we're wrong. Hit us on the socials. Tell me we're wrong.
Yeah, and remember, Sullivan had a belter for the Sharks last week.
And Dane Laurie should be in the Tigers lineup.
I can't believe he's not. It's an outrage.
It's an outrage.
Yeah.
So look, I don't think the PNG. I don't think it's a good idea.
No, I've got.
But we need to preface this by the usual preface.
Yep.
I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot too. A hypocrite. I have nothing to do. No knowledge of how this diplomatic stuff works. But it shits me so much. I remember Australia touring India a couple of years ago, and Albo was over there, and him and Modi, before the Test series started over there, just hijacked the start of that first Test.
Yeah.
And even the passionate cricket, loving Indian fans who also seem to be a bit of a fan of Modi, were like, "What? Why? What is this? What is going on here?" The players weren't allowed to warm up on the field because the pollies had taken over. That sort of shit. This isn't that exactly, but this sort of political interference.
And what are they gonna play some games in Cairns?
Yeah, play.
That's
play
Cowboys territory.
Yeah, it is. So so then the discussion becomes, what's their patch?
Exactly.
Where do their players come from? Look, all respect to PNG and some of the bloody great players they got there.
Who's gonna live there?
Is that going to work?
Who's going to live? Let's go. Oh, who's off contract? Oh, you know who's off contract? Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, get him up there.
Do you want to go up to PNG? Oh, really?
Look, I'll see what Mary thinks.
Yeah.
Does Mary want to move there with me?
I think Mary's scoring goals for Man City. I think they're probably going to...
Probably go there in the off-season.
Wouldn't that be something? Side note. What if he went over and played for London Wasp or Saracens?
Could happen.
Gets residency,
Yep.
then starts lining up at number 10 for England in the Rugby World Cup. Wouldn't he be a number 10?
He'd be a great number 10, but what a winding conspiracy.
Wouldn't he be a Dan Carter like number 10?
Nathan Cleary at 10 for England.
Oh, man. I was so angry when Andrew Johnston go to the Wallabies.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an opportunity missed. He would have been
Just would have been it, wouldn't he?
something else. Something else
Anyway,
entirely.
carry on.
Okay, Wayne Bennett to PNG. Political
But
money.
this is after the Rabbitohs.
This is the other. This is the
3
this
years.
Is the great thing.
3 years at the Rabbitohs.
Doesn't work though. It doesn't work because they're talking 2027. So either way, if you're Souths and you're looking at this, you need to be prepared for the fact that year 3 of your deal is likely year 1 of this new thing.
Oh,
So 2 teams by 2030, but the order is PNG and
First.
Yeah. That's why this is hilarious. And Wayne's just sitting there going, dial it up, baby, because you're going to have to give me enough money to do this, and then 2 years in, fuck it, why not?
so he just
Why
goes 2
not?
years at Rabbitohs.
If it happens.
Okay.
He said he's open to it.
Okay.
But when Wayne Bennett says he's open to a bid team, it was like when...
unemployed in a couple of months.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, gee, cry me a bloody river. I love him. I love him to bits.
Yeah.
I'm a super fan of Wayne Bennett. I will never shit can him, but I will say cry me a river, Rain. You're doing okay.
Yeah.
Every bid team, the Firehawks, the Bombers turned Jets, the Dolphins,
They're just gone.
all of them wanted Wayne. All of them had Wayne as their coach.
But do they then get a re-hit at
another
expansion,
go?
or is it done? No, it's the Dolphins in Brisbane.
And then that's it. I don't think so. I think the Firehawks were coming back for a 2.0 as well.
Okay.
Because East's built that massive centre of excellence and all of that. The timing for that was probably a little bit off for the decision process of the NRL, the timeline they had. But, yeah, they're not in the mix. They're not in the mix. They come from absolutely anywhere. If it's going to be Southeast Queensland, we would absolutely know it. They'd be making that pretty bloody clear.
The Western Corridor's a chance.
Ipswich was a hugely tantalising option for them. It really was. That, and also, let's be honest, the other part of that was AFL Heartland up here.
Yeah.
That was a huge raid that they could have made. I still think they made the right decision, and I think it's proven so. But again, I say this with all the love of the Dolphins. Fins up, you got the hat on.
I love your Dolphins.
I'd love them to bits. They can't pull a crowd at Lang Park outside of a game against the Broncos.
That
at
game,
the moment.
who did we watch them play? Newcastle.
Knights.
And they said, 18,000.
There wasn't 18,000 there.
There wasn't 18,000.
There wasn't 18,000.
Terry. Hey, Terry, it's us.
Stop fibbing.
Come on, Terry. It's me.
You've been on the Alterna leaf.
Come on, Terry.
There was not
Taz.
18,000. Yeah.
There's not 18,000.
He's like, sorry, I mistook those lights for people.
It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Those empty beer cups for human beings.
Yeah. My mistake. My mistake. That 4 and 20 rapper looked deceptively like a family of 4. That was a family pass.
And if he was counting my empty beer cups, he might have been close. All right.
But, you know, it is. It's silly and it's...
I think the line in the sand, I like bringing back the Bears. I just feel like at the moment, the expansion... I just think we need... they need to look at the players coming through, the participation. At the moment, this ridiculous Rise program they've got going in the Queensland Rugby League is not allowing representative players to come through. Maybe it increases participation. So there's got to be a critical mass moving through for us to get to a point where we can have another expansion team. But I feel like that's a 15 to 20-year thing.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I
feel. 4
feel.
even 1.
I feel like it. I think 17 we're at a stretch.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Well said. Really well said. And you know what? This was about as high as the fever pitch got for Manly versus the Dolphins at Lang Park last week. Quality game of footy for the most part. Not enough players, but personnel.
I thought it was a stinker of a game.
Oh, well, you think every game's a stinker. It had its moments.
No. Well,
I'm sorry, but your margin of stinkers is up around 80% per round.
it's true. It's true. I thought Penrith Canterbury was a pretty good game.
It was a good game.
I thought the Dogs turned up.
Yeah, they did. You know, we expected them to.
Yeah.
They were good.
So I
they
didn't
were
think,
good.
What else? Let's go. Let's go round 10.
Are you worried that I've called you a stinker gate
Yeah,
now?
okay, so
what game did you say was a stinker? Dolphins, Manly?
Stinker.
I was like, stinkish.
Penrith Bulldogs was good. Broncos Eels?
Stinker?
Stinker.
Tigers, Knights? Stinker. Dragons, Rabbits?
Stink.
That was a stinker.
Had a pong about it.
That had a pong. Yeah.
Good game.
Shark and Storm.
Yeah, liked it.
That was a befitting top of the
Yeah,
table.
liked the game. High quality.
Yeah, it was.
Roosters didn't think this was a stinker because the Roosters looked really, really good.
Well, Roosters, it scares me how good they're looking.
Yeah.
They are.
They looked really good.
And forget about Adam Reynolds the week before. They were high quality.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Titans, Cows, yeah, man. That was kind of it's a hard game to watch.
That was a stinker. The two I would give absolute stinkers to was the Dragons game and the Cowboys game.
To stink status to those.
I will grant them stink status. I don't dish out stinkers like, I'm like, they're like Michael Jennings, and I'm like a 300 game ball when it comes to a stinker. I'm very reluctant to give it away. Very, very reluctant, okay? We'll see though. We'll see. Now let's talk about state of origin.
All right, let's get into it. Because it's on our. When is game one? Jeez, we're gonna have to look this up, aren't we?
Yeah, quickly look that up while I
give me a minute. I'll look up when game one is. The women's state of origin is this week.
Very good.
All right, so game one.
Woo!
Yeah,
I drove past the stadium earlier. They put the big banner out the front.
No, Jesse Southwell for the Blues.
Southwell, yeah, gone.
Like
Huge
just not
call.
selected or
Dropped. So Jesse Southwell comes in, wins the premiership, does everything you need to do to get to that next level.
why did they drop her?
Gets dropped. Why has New South Wales dropped all of its halfbacks
yeah,
since 1980?
It's true to form, isn't it? Crazy.
I genuinely think it is. It's like,
God, that's bizarre.
the reasoning they gave was, just too much talent and got to give everyone a go. And
Yeah, she's
didn't say everyone a go, but
she's just really, really good. Okay, let's go to Origin. It's June 5 is game one, so we're talking like 3
round the
weeks,
corner,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you. This is my Origin team if fit, and it's hard. This is if they're all fit. Walsh. Okay. Is this the team we think will be the team, or we think the team
Should
we
be the
think
team.
should be the team? Okay, if that, in that case, this changes.
I think should, yeah.
Okay, so Walsh is one. Cobbo, one wing, is what will happen.
Yeah.
What I think should happen is Coates should be on the wing and Cobbo on the centres. That's
Okay.
what I think should happen. Val will get one spot. The Hammer will be the other centre, and Murray Talangi will be the
Is
other wing.
Val this far out, though? Still a couple of games.
He's got work to do.
Got a spot
I
there?
reckon he's hanging on to his spot by a thread at
okay.
the moment. That's what I reckon.
Okay.
The halves, Munster and Daly.
Is that as of today, though, after yesterday? After his... Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
but I think that's what's going to happen. So I think Cobbo and Coates will fight out for one wing spot, in my opinion. Collins will be one starting front rower. Grant, I think they might start Hunt in the hooking spot.
Okay.
And Grant will be on the bench. I think it's, same, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Cotter should start at 10, but I think he will.
Yeah, you don't... You said this on last episode. You don't like him starting at 10.
I don't like him starting at 10, but what they'll do is they'll start him at 10 and he'll play 80. They might use him, they might bring him to an edge or to 13 or something just to give him a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I would start Collins and Flegg.
Okay.
Oh,
Gee, that's...
oh.
Look out. Yeah.
God, if only Tom Gilbert was around.
Especially if you're putting kicks up with Lindsay out there.
Only Tommy Gilbert was around. You have
Yeah, I know.
Flegg, Collins, Gilbert. Ugh.
Just beating him up.
Just bashing them.
Yep.
The second row I'm going to say is going to be Jaden Sewer and David Fafita.
I've got Fafita starting. So you're going to start Sewer over the likes of Jai Arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Arrow. If Arrow's there on the bench, but there might not be room on the bench.
I don't think there is. He's spent a bit of time injured as well.
Yeah.
Paddy Carrigan's going to be 13. So we've got Grant, Cotter, Mo, Fotuaker, and Brimo. I think Brimo finds a spot on the bench if he's fit.
So you're carrying Grant. Obviously you're carrying Grant, but Grant and Brimo.
I think so. And I think if you carry Cotter on the bench with Mo, I think you can carry Brimo. Whereas if you start Cotter, I don't know if you can carry Brimo. So notable omissions. So it's either going to be Cobbo or Coates. Ponga, Arrow, Josh Kerr, Nanai. I don't have Nanai in
You
there.
don't have nothing for
I know
Nanai?
he scored 2 tries, and he's a try scorer.
He's an Origin dude too. He's got a lift about him.
Yeah.
How much did he do last year or year before to sort of be that guy where, like, you look if you're fit?
I don't know.
They always say, you got to be playing well. Of course you do, but for fuck's sake, how many players have been picked over?
I think Jaden Sewer's playing really, really well.
So Dane Gago's Origin career is toast?
I think it is, yeah, because I like Gags, and I'd happily pick him.
Yeah.
But I think if Murray Talangi's fit, and
So he's getting that vote. He's getting that past service vote, and he was epic.
Yeah.
He was epic last year.
so I kind of feel like I I don't like seeing Cobbo or Coates miss out. I think either of those guys are so valuable.
I love Val, mate, but can you imagine
Cobbo on the centres?
Coates, yeah, so Coates and Cobbo, and then Hammer
And Murray.
and Murray.
Jeez, that's a
Murray
bad one.
Talangi, that is a
I like
that is
it.
a ridiculous.
I like it a lot.
And Reece Walsh firing them. So that's who's coming inside when Reece Walsh drifts out.
Yeah, Cobbo or Murray.
I don't mind that.
All right, give me yours.
Pretty similar. I originally did have Gagai, but I've tweaked that. I am going to go Cobbo. I'm going to jostle it around. I had Walsh, Cobbo, Hammer.
Yeah.
But the Holmes thing is like, you know, I want Cobbo closer to the action.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him that centre spot.
Yep, fair enough.
He's got the centre spot. Him and Hammer. I've got Coates on the wing.
And Talangi the other
and Murray on
Yep.
last year. Munster and Cherry, obviously.
Yeah.
I've started Grant.
I got nothing against it starting. Yeah.
I like just Hunt when he's come on.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yep.
And it's more that second stint too. If they get to that,
Yeah,
too.
fair enough.
He knows he's just such a eyes up
look,
kind of guy.
They might name Hunt at 9 and start Grant.
And start him.
So who knows?
It's a much of a much, isn't it? I gave Fafita a jersey.
Yeah.
I just thought based on what, you know.
But I think you can't carry Nanai and Fafita in the starting team. There's no work rate there.
Well, I like Sewer. You got to have Carrigan. I've got Carrigan at 13.
Yeah, of course.
Sewer and Fafita, Flegler, Grant, Collins.
That's a good full pack.
Hunt. I couldn't find. Look, I've got a old Smoky, and you'll probably laugh.
No.
Because I gave a jersey to Welch.
I love Welsh.
I gave him a jersey.
I'm okay with that.
I like him.
I'm all right with
I
that.
don't mind him getting in there.
I would happily
just-
hand him another one.
I saw your bench. I love it. And AJ, he was great, and he deputised beautifully last year. And he's been the only thing, him and Foran holding the Titans together. Let's be honest. I'm just a bit worried about that lack of an extra
I don't mind it.
big body.
I don't mind it.
Yep. Okay. Well, I got Mo, Welch, Hunt, Cotter. So forward heavy,
Yeah, that's all right.
but
it's Origin,
that's what
man.
we probably need. Yeah.
It's Origin. I think what might not scare them, but sort of just they might just think, geez, remember when Cobbo got KO'd first? You remember when Turbo went down? Yeah, they had to play Nico in the centres.
Yeah.
So, and you look at the amount of injuries that are happening right now, I feel like you need to carry a back on the bench.
Yeah. It's a good
With
point.
HIAs, with hamstrings,
Yep.
with everything like that, you almost have to have one on the bench.
It needs to be a
Almost.
back. It needs to be a versatile one. So that's
Which is
AJ.
Brimo.
Yep. Okay. I got Nanai as 18th.
Yeah,
by
that's
the way.
all right. I'm okay with that. I just think Nanai, there was a point, I think up to just before he scored that try,
Yep.
which is in the 60th minute, they said this is Nanai's third run of the game. I'm like, Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's.
I've picked a Blues team too, Jolly.
Oh yeah, John. Okay. I'll hit me.
This is what I think the Blues team should look like.
I'm interested in this because it's a depleted team.
It is. I mean, they're in all sorts, right? But
Yeah.
but it's still a freaking good team. You got Teddy. Swali'i is probably going to be a winger.
Yep.
Crichton and Latrell in the centres.
Not bad.
Latrell has to be there. To'o on the other wing. I think the 6 and 7 should be Moses and Hines. Now, which way 6 and 7? I would go Moses 6 and Nico 7. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I got a feeling that if Moses is freed up at 6, I think he might be awesome.
Yep.
If you
See what you're saying?
you just remove that little bit of control from what he has to do because he's a hell of a runner.
He's got the skill set.
Anyway, that's just me. I'm an idiot.
He's got the Wally Lewis torpedo in him.
Oh yeah, he sure does.
Yep.
I've got Haas and Oitukamanu.
Like it. Yep. Agreed.
Liam Martin's going to be 1. Yo's going to be 13. I've got Gussie Crichton. That
one.
dude's playing out of his skin.
Oh mate, he the best form he's been in for a number of years. I
think he scored like 5 tries in the last 2 weeks.
Yep, he's been awesome.
I very much like him. And then
Shades of Beaver Menzies about some of his lines.
God, Beavers, my hero.
He's a hero.
I love Beavers so much.
But it's-
And on the bench, I've got Gerbo, Olakuatu,
Okay. Yep.
Kalomatangi,
Yep.
Matt Burton,
Matty Burton. Okay.
who is my Brimo on that bench.
He's your Brimo, so he can cover a few.
And then I've got Cameron McInnes as 18th.
Does Matt Burton get anywhere near the start if Nico isn't fit? Is he your backup?
Yeah, no, he starts.
Is he
He's
straight
a
backup?
possibility. I don't think he starts though. I think he's my bench man.
Okay.
And then so these are the omissions. These are the people missing out: Stags, Talakai, Bradman Best, Jerome Luai, Dylan Edwards, Hudson Young.
Mate, Edwards, yeah.
What do you do? You can't. He can't be the Burton man. Burton's got to be the man on the bench. It can't be Dylan Edwards.
It's one of those guys who's going to, when he does retire, like, ridiculous career anyway, but one of those guys who's like, jeez, how did he not play 20 Origins?
He didn't play much Origin. Luke Carey, he's announced his retirement. He's not going to play.
Already calls for him, though. It's like one last hurrah.
But then there's Jack Whiten, but he's retired from. Yep. But is he going to come back? Because I would consider playing him 6.
Yeah.
I would love to see him. He should have played a lot more Origin with the 6 on his back. You look at when New South Wales have always done well against Queensland. They've got a big, strong running
Number
6.
6, yep. I mean, Greg Bird played there.
Greg Bird, Braithen Astor.
Yep.
You know, that 6.
Brad Fittler.
Laurie Daly.
Yep.
So, I don't know. That's what do you think about that Blues team?
Oh, it's a good team. It's a team, like, given the the toll that they're dealing with, just like Queensland is.
Yeah.
It's a fucking strong team.
It is.
Arpey has played mesmerisingly for the Tigers. He's been great.
So that in that team, Arpey's playing 80.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Otherwise, what else are you doing?
McInnes.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
So that might mean either Olakuatu or Kalamatangi misses out and McInnes is that 9-13.
Yep.
But then your rotation, I mean, Haas, you're always going to get big minutes out of. Yo's going to play. The only one really is Oitukamanu.
Yeah.
And then what do? You just move Yo into a bit more of a middle role and bring McInnes on to play that 13 role, or just play McInnes in the middle.
Yeah.
He just comes through for that final sort of 20 minutes of the first half and bashes out, which he can do. He's tough as nails.
Yep.
He's not dominant by any stretch.
But he'll get the work done.
And he's a goer.
Yeah.
He's an Origin player.
Yeah, for
Origin
sure.
type player.
For sure.
But that's the
I like
thing.
it. I like your back row there. I like Martin, Gussie, Gus Crichton, and Yo. I like that. That is a mobile back row.
Yeah, it's a good back row.
Okay, very good. My Blues team.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Eddinghausen, Kai, Fittler, McGregor, Wishart, Daly, Stewart, Lazarus. I've gone for Thalias at 9. Harrigan, Sirinen, Cartwright, and then a bolter on the bench on 13, Clyde.
Who?
Okay, he's
I haven't heard of him.
Bevy Clyde or something.
I haven't heard of
Barley
him.
Clyde.
Did he do anything? Okay.
There's a few raps around.
So this is unfortunate that you've done this.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Bradley Clyde.
Yeah, I know.
So every time you mention him,
Yeah.
I've got to say,
This is where this comes in.
the greatest.
You love him, don't you? You know who wasn't a stinker? Bradley Clyde.
The greatest.
You know who never went anywhere near a stinker? Bradley Clyde.
The greatest.
Salvatore.
Salvo.
Gillespie. Carter.
Cement.
Carter on the bench.
Steve Carter. Scarter.
Just keep that Penrith connection up.
How's this? Nathan Feen. Remember Nathan Feen?
Yeah.
His first grade debut was against Penrith in Penrith, round 1, 2000. He got suspended for elbowing Steve Carter in the head in his first grade debut.
Really?
Yep.
I love that. That's
Shout out Fiend Dog.
It's like a reverse welcome to first grade.
Yeah, it's like, I'm here, motherfucker.
I love it. Look, all seriousness, I like your team, mate. Where's nothing for the Fox?
Well, I mean, if they pick him, fine.
They're not going to pick him.
No, I'm not dying on a hill with most of these guys. I think, the hill for the Blues team, the hill I'd die on is probably, everyone else. Yo, Martin, Arpey, Haas, probably Crichton. I mean, Stephen Crichton. Gerbo's in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. They're the hills that I'd die on. The rest of them...
Yeah, 100%. It's like the hill at fullback. You got some wonderful contenders. Even Drinkwater, I know they're going to shit, but he's another one that's been on that periphery. But
yeah, he has.
Fucking no chance. And To'o obviously has a wing.
I think he's got one stitched up, doesn't he?
Turbo and Crichton, if fit. Although you've got you like Latrell, all right.
I think
Latrell if fit.
But he's back now. He scored 2 tries. He should be in that team.
Yep. What about his attitude?
Oh man, put him in Origin. Attitude changes in Origin.
Yep.
If they don't pick Latrell, you know what I'm doing?
Yep.
Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, from a Queensland point of view. If fit, can we wind back that clock? Sorry to Stephen Crichton because I love him, but Latrell and Turbo.
100%.
If fit, they got to be your centres, haven't they?
Yeah, and you know what? Give Crichton a wing.
Get him on the wing. So who do you lose from the wing?
Swally.
Yeah, okay.
Swally.
Sorry, Joseph.
Give him a wing because Crichton's got to be there. He is some kind of player, and it pains me to say it.
Yep.
I don't know why it pains me to say it. He's a hell of a player.
He is a hell of a player.
And he's showing his true mettle with what he's doing at the Dogs.
Yep.
His level of play is up there. He's like a real professional, you know.
Yep, I agree.
I'm wildly impressed with that guy, with what he's just from last year to now. He's always been a great player, but I'm wildly impressed with him.
I love, obviously, Haas, Snarpy, locked them in. We took Amana. Good selection. Incumbency with Campbell Gillard there, making a lot of possibles as the year's gone on.
I mean,
as well.
Campbell Gillard, if they picked him, fair enough.
You'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yep,
But I mean, I'd pick.
Has
pick
he
these
got
two
a
guys.
bit of a whiff about him with some of that, the Penrith connection? Or
Yeah,
that,
allegedly.
was that the thing? Yeah, that was the story.
But I mean,
Yeah.
apparently him and Yowie are really tight.
Best mates.
So I don't know.
So just bullshit. I like your back row. I don't agree. I don't disagree. Sorry, Martin, Angus. Yep, and Yowie. That's pretty good. That's pretty bloody good. I feel for Tony Staggs. I think he's put on a hell of a shift, but there is just absolutely nowhere for it. I don't know where you'd put him, barring injuries.
And I think
to
he
all
comes
of
in
those
and out of
candidates.
games. Staggs, I like him a lot. You know?
Okay.
I
Yep.
think he'd do a job for him
Yep.
if offered, if given the job, he'd do one. But what are you going to do?
No cancellation of Yo and McInnes. They're complimentary.
I don't
Nice
think
and
so. I think
complimentary.
McInnes has got that hooker in him.
Yep.
So yeah,
Fantastic.
there you go.
That's a look. These are good teams.
They're both good teams,
Good
but you
teams.
think about the
I can't see Queens. Look, these matchups. I don't want to get too cocky too early. I can see Queensland getting it done.
I can as well. But this is the thing, right? Could you have imagined sort of 3 years ago,
Yeah.
Ponga not even getting a start? Now I don't know if he's going to be fit or injured. When's he due back?
He's TBC.
Is he?
He's indefinite.
Is he really? Okay. Then, but I mean,
I'll double check
If
that. 'Cause
Ponga's-
I have made some outrageous claims today. I'm pretty sure that
if
one's
Ponga's
accurate.
fit, he's still not getting a look in, is he?
No.
Because he's not playing that 14.
He's not TBC. He's round 22, so he's not playing. He's not playing.
22.
Yeah. He was TBC. He's
What
now
did he
round
do
22.
again?
Ponga, he hit his foot. He did that, what do you call
Liz
it? The
Frank.
legs Frank, yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, fucking round 22. My God.
yeah. Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. Would he have been there?
No.
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 That's another. We're just talking about Dylan Edwards.
It would have been a tough decision. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look at that. Like Ponga, he's been great at Origin.
It's been unreal.
He's been really good. Dylan Edwards is arguably the best club player running round.
Put it this way: if they picked him over Walsh, I would have went, okay.
Yeah, I could hack it.
I'm not going to sit there going, oh my God. I would have been like, okay.
Yeah. I could swallow it. I could live with it.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it'd
think
happen.
it'd
Walsh
happen.
has just way too much
Got too much.
game busting.
He's
about
terrifying. Man,
Yeah.
he's terrifying.
him. Yeah,
Terrifyingly
it's
fast.
ridiculous how good that guy is. It is actually ridiculous.
Someone made a comment on a radio show saying, with all the attention he's getting from kids and girls, he said, rugby league has never seen anything like him.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Andrew Eddinghausen.
Well, no, you go back to JT in his prime.
Okay, up north or before then?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Jono,
When he was at the peak of his, so after 05.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jono in his prime
Yeah.
for fame and just like kids just in awe of him. And
Rock star. Yeah.
Rock star.
Yep.
Absolute. I remember, being with him and crowds just parting
Oh yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
In bars or something. Like I'm just talking like genuine part.
He was Moses, not Mitchell, the
like,
biblical
yeah,
Moses.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think Jono at his prime just captured, and he was bigger than the game.
I was a journo up in Townsville early on with Channel 7 up there, and the Cowboys were the.
Yeah.
This is, I'm going back. The Townsville Crocodiles still existed. That's how
the
far
Crocs.
back I'm going. But
Shout out to Mike Kelly and
oh yeah,
slamming Sam McKinnon.
Love that.
And,
Love that. Yeah,
Clarence
yeah.
Tyson.
that's
You name
really
it.
good. When they
Brad
were
Davidson, the spark plug.
Yeah.
Love Brad. Peter
You
Crawford.
were a big Rusty Hinder too.
Yeah.
Big Rusty, great bloke.
Froling Senior.
Yeah, yeah.
Froling Junior.
The ticket in town was the Cowboys, but you also had briefly the North Queensland. You had the Fury.
Oh, you had
the
Robbie Fowler.
You had Robbie Fowler in town. You had obviously the Crocs with everyone you've just rattled off there.
Yeah. keep messing
and the
with that, sorry.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
And you'd go to opportunities, and Robbie Fowler would be trotted out. This
fucking
legend
Fowler.
of world football would be trotted out. The Crocs would, they were all personalities. Everyone would trot out their biggest fish. No one gave a fuck about anyone.
When Jono walked
When
in.
Jono Thurston was there, that is all anyone cared. And it was amazing the amount of opportunities you go to where it's like, Jonathan Thurston is going to kick a goal for some charity today. Meet us down at this park at whatever time. And you go down there and it's like, aren't you a court reporter for the local paper?
Like, oh, no,
Don't you work in like Emerald? What the fuck are you doing here?
Aren't you a teacher? Should you be teaching kids?
Don't you live in Perth? Honestly, they would come from absolutely everywhere. And that guy, alongside, I'll give this guy a shout out, Peter Parr, was so bloody generous and so accepting of the love that they had and so embracing of it that it created, I think it only enhanced the legend even further.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
There's a story about the Beijing Olympics.
Yeah. He could have competed if he wanted to, let's be honest.
No, but it's a similar story, right? So, when all the athletes go to the athletic village, they all eat in the same big food hall, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Phelps, you've got Usain Bolt, you've got all these people coming in and eating at the same hall as everyone else, right?
Yeah.
You know the one bloke who just, when he walked in, everything just stopped? Kobe.
Really? Oh, yeah.
They reckon when Kobe walked in, you just couldn't hear clinking on plates or anything. It was just dead silent. Everyone's just like,
reverence.
that's Kobe.
Yeah.
That's what they reckon. That's the story I heard.
Now, he only had to play like 5 minutes of his audition for the NBA, didn't he? Is that a story you told me?
I was telling this to someone else the other day. You know the film Air?
Yeah.
That's Sonny Vaccaro, who, told Nike to give everything to Jordan.
Do it, yeah.
I think he was with Adidas at this point. And Kobe's dad contacts him and said, hey, my son's pretty good. Because Kobe spent a lot of time in China or overseas, maybe in Italy, somewhere like that. And he was a Philly kid at high school. And he said, I think you need to see, my young fella play. So I think it might have been a Adidas sponsorship sort of pickup game. This Vaccaro used to organise all these pickup games. So he's got some guys in from wherever, they might be journeymen, they might be college, they might be sort of, I think it's, what's it called, like double D or whatever they call that grade below the NBA.
Yep.
So he rolls Kobe out and he reckons after 5 minutes he's blown the whistle, told everyone to go home.
That's all I need.
That's all I need.
It's like in Entourage when James Cameron watches 2 minutes of Vinny's film.
In head on.
Yeah.
How'd you like to come play Aquaman for me?
Aquaman for me.
Yeah.
I am Queens Boulevard.
I am Queens. Are you kidding?
Just out for the record, 11 runs for 74 metres for Nanai last week.
Okay,
21
11.
post contact,
2 tries.
a line break, couple
2
of
tries.
tries,
That's good
tackle
stats.
break. Yeah.
All right, let's quickly go
Nice
to,
and
this
play.
is Magic Round. We haven't even talked about freaking Magic Round happening not far from where we're recording right now.
Just down the road, just a stone's throw.
Okay. Raiders Dogs Friday night game.
I think look, you know what I think about Canberra this year. I think the Bulldogs have been pretty good.
Okay. You get the
late.
Bulldogs. I'm going to go the Raiders.
Okay.
All right. Seagulls Broncos.
You have to win at Brisbane.
I think the Brisbane will win that.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
Look, they should, based on what the Manly tossed up against the Dolphins, they should win it
I think
comfortably.
they should. Yeah, I would think so. Titans Knights.
Oh, go the Titans.
It's the Knights, man. Titans are going to have no players.
No, yeah, that's true.
It's going
actually,
to
when
be
you look
Titans versus Kebra Park State High. Titans versus a combined Palm
Yeah,
Beach,
you're right,
Currumbin
you're
and
right.
Kebra State.
at. What if Desi makes his comeback though?
Yeah.
Come under me, come under me, come under me.
Get into him.
All right, yeah, okay, no, fair call. I'm going to flip there. You're right, Knights.
Game of the
For
round.
a moment there, I had to,
Yeah.
mate, they'll be running Tino, Fafina, Kieran Foran,
Chris
Scotty
Walker.
Prince. Yeah.
Game of the round.
Souths Cowboys.
No.
No. Sharks Roosters.
Game of the round.
I'm going to go the Roosters just to upset the apple cart. I think the Sharks have had 2 back-to-back big performances last week, especially. The Canberra win was a massive one, but I feel that they've just been on this bit of a high. The Roosters are playing. The Roosters are the team to beat for me at the moment.
I agree. I think the Sharks get him. I think Nico comes back and they get him.
Okay.
I have no idea who's going to win this game between the Rabbitohs and the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't know.
Go the Cowboys. Come on.
I'm going to have to go the
They
Cowboys.
have to.
I think Penrith knock over the Warriors. The Warriors are just on the slide. And probably no Shawnee Johnson. The Storm are going to dominate the Eels.
They will dominate them. Yep.
And Dolphins, Tigers.
This is one of those Dolphins turn up and play decent, you win, but do what you do every other week and play like you've never played in your life.
Yep.
Lives.
I think the Dolphins probably get it done.
I think,
but
I mean,
we haven't even seen teams yet.
No.
So let's come back at the end of the week and we'll do another little chat,
reassess,
be it on Insta or whatever, and we'll just update those tips.
Change our tips.
Sound good?
Yeah. Well, so and also just a quick note for Grapple subscribers and those who are just joining the Grappling HQ that we are changing the order somewhat and we're coming out a little bit earlier for you guys. Should have mentioned this at the top of the show.
We should have, yeah.
We'll mention it now, but you're going to get the round wrap up and all sorts of grapples happening a little bit earlier.
Absolutely. This is the jersey I was wearing last week for anyone because we didn't have any video. The old 1908 replica. There we go.
Yep. Shout outs to the jerseys on our desk, of course. The 2024 Cowboys. Thank you to Michael Luck and the team up there.
LA Mongrel, 80 Cooney. Yep. And Mackay Cutters, Mick Comerford and the crew up there. Good on you, fellas.
Go the Cutters. Yoda's made the journey as well. Good to be here, it is.
It is.
So, Johnny, it's been a pleasure.
Absolute. We're going to play the play-out music. I got it right this time.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for your company.
Woo. Should we hug it out?
Hug it out, yeah. Well done.
Good job. All right, we'll stop recording now, eh?
That'll do.
You want to turn that off?